there, RosterWatch Nation. It's your friendly neighborhood trash man, and this is the Garbage Grab, where we often talk about players less favored, often less fortunate than some of the guys you're going to get, in your first 2-3 rounds of your draft. Today we're going to be talking about pass-catching backs, as we did in our last installment, except these are going to be guys in the AFC. So these are going to be guys who are going to be able to contribute, especially in PPR formats for you, because they're going to catch quite a few balls. Starting off, we have Jaylen Samuels of the Steelers. He's been a significant part of the offense so far in Steelers camp. Even James Conner has said that he will not be toting the ball as much this season. Samuel is going to be a guy who's going to be spelling Conner quite a bit. And the Steelers want to keep Conner healthy, so that's another reason why they're going to put Samuels in the game. Samuels can catch the ball. He's a shifty guy who can run, who's got a lot of good horizontal movement. He can get in and out of cuts really well. I think in PPR value, he's going to have a lot of standalone value. He's going to be somebody who's going to be able to contribute often and early in that Steelers offense. After Samuels, we have Duke Johnson, formerly of the Browns, now of the Texans. Didn't have a picture of him in a Texans uniform just yet. He's that new. He was picked up in exchange for a 2020 fourth round pick. He'll slot right behind Lamar Miller as the number 2 in Houston. And we all know Lamar Miller isn't the back he once was. For the last several years he's been in the league, he's been more of a middling. He every now and then he'll get RB2 numbers, but he's mainly what I would consider a high-end RB3. Johnson will be the pass-catching back there in Houston. You'll see him a lot on third downs. And with the way that Houston's offensive line stinks to high heavens, they're going to have to get the ball out of Deshaun Watson's hands quickly. So expect Johnson to catch a lot of balls this season. He didn't do that well in 2018 for the Browns, but if you go back to 2017, he had over 1,000 all-purpose yards and 7 touchdowns. There's a pass-catching back in Cleveland. Look to maybe have similar numbers this season for Johnson, as Lamar Miller can't really be relied upon, and the Texans are going to throw the ball a lot. They're going to have to. Up next, after Johnson, we have Gio Bernard of the Cincinnati Bengals. Some are expecting him to get as many as 13 touches per game this season. You can expect him to get quite a few touches, especially coming out of the beginning of the season when AJ Green is out. They're going to need pass catchers. Tyler Boyd is their main guy right now, and he's not going to cut it for everything as far as the pass catching game goes. Bernard's going to contribute quite a bit. They've been lining him up all over the field so far with new coach Zach Taylor. Expect Bernard to contribute a lot in PPR leagues and maybe even in some standard formats. He's going to get more usage than he has been in the past year or two. After Bernard, we have Devin Singletary of the Buffalo Bills, rookie, third-round rookie. He's been getting first-team reps, y'all. LaShawn McCoy, some are even saying McCoy could get cut. I find that highly unlikely, but, even if the fact that there are rumors will give you some indication that McCoy isn't the tour de force he's been in the past. And behind McCoy, we have Frank Gore, who's going to his 15th year in the league. So it's really no surprise that Singletary's been getting first-team reps. He's a smaller guy, 5'7", but he's over 200 pounds. He caught quite a few balls near the beginning of his college career. He caught fewer and fewer as his seasons went on, but we can expect that number, or those numbers, to increase in the NFL. He was really quite spectacular in college. He had 96 missed tackles last season. It was second in the nation behind only David Montgomery, who is now a Chicago Bear. and 76% of his rushing yards after contact, behind one of the worst offensive lines in the nation, where he played down in Florida. So expect Devin Singletary to be a moderately active pass catching back who can do a lot with a little. Up next, we have Mark Ingram. He's a well-known back, but in the past, he hasn't been expected to get RB1 numbers. I think he's going to toy with him this season as lead back in Baltimore, or the closest thing to a lead back, and he's going to stay in on a lot of third downs because he can catch the ball. Lamar Alexander, he's not going to be throwing the ball downfield that much. It's going to be a lot of short passes, a lot of dump offs to guys like Mark Ingram. So expect Ingram to produce a lot in this offense. I think he's around a 5th round ADP right now. I think he's going to play way above that. I've been talking about him a lot this preseason. I think he's going to be a major contributor in fantasy. Game time. After Mark Ingram, we have Austin Ekeler of the Chargers. Who knows when Melvin Gordon's going to rejoin the team? He may not rejoin the team until halfway through the season. He may not rejoin the team this season. He wants to be traded. They're $2 to $3 million off annually what he wants to get paid right now. So we'll have to hold our breaths. But in the meantime, pick up Austin Ekeler. A lot of people are expecting Justin Jackson to be the replacement for Gordon there in Los Angeles, and I think they're dead wrong. Austin Ekeler has been the guy whenever Gordon hasn't been in the game. If you look back to last season, he had touchdowns of 17, 18, and 17 in the 3 games that Gordon was out, before missing the 4th one as well. Ekeler was number 5 in yards per carry among qualified runners last season, and he registered Pro Football Focus's number 6 elusive rating at the position among 56 qualifiers. So Ekeler, he's a shifty guy. He can move around really quickly in and out of his cuts. He can get up the field quickly too, and he's a great pass catcher. He had 66 catches in his last 2 NFL seasons. So pick him up where you can, because he's going to play way above his value right now, especially if Gordon does not rejoin the team anytime soon, which it doesn't look like he is. After Ekeler, we have Kenyon Drake of the Miami Dolphins. Right now, we're looking at a timeshare between Drake and Kalen Ballage there in Miami. Ballage more the first 2 down back, it looks like. Drake more of the 3rd down back, pass catching back there for Miami. Last year, he had 53 receptions, over 1,000 all-purpose yards. Chances are he's probably not going to be as productive this season, on the ground at least, but you can expect him to catch quite a few balls. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets up there around 50 catches this season. So even though Ballage is there in Miami right alongside with him, Drake is still going to catch quite a few passes. There aren't a lot of strong pass catchers there in Miami, or at least not ones that perform for you consistently. I think Drake will. After we have Drake, we have Old Faithful James White. He's not that old, but he's definitely faithful. Last season, he had over 1,100 all-purpose yards, 87 receptions, and 12 touchdowns. I think he was number 7 in PPR leagues for points last season. Damian Harris has been added in the backfield there in New England, and we already have Sony Michel there. But I think James White's going to retain his role as a pass-catching back there in New England. As far as receivers go, outside of N'Keal Harry, well, I guess there are a few guys, and maybe Josh Gordon comes back and joins the team at some point, but expect James White to do well early on in the season and to produce at a high level as a value add in basically all formats, especially PPR. And last but not least, we have Dion Lewis of the Tennessee Titans. Last season, Lewis had 59 receptions, over 900 all-purpose yards. We kind of saw the passing of the torch there near the end of the season as Derrick Henry took over, and the team has stated emphatically that Henry will be the bell cow there in Tennessee. But Lewis will stay involved. I'm staying away from him outside of formats that aren't PPR, but in PPR formats, I think he's a decent RB3, a good RB4, somebody who's going to produce, if not consistently, in spurts there for you, as Tennessee doesn't have exceptional pass catchers, and Lewis is a proven commodity. Anyways, those are my AFC pass catching backs that you're probably going to be able to get value on in fantasy drafts this season, as they're going to play above their value, or at least right there around it. Anyways, this has been the Garbage Grab. I'm the Trash Man on behalf of RosterWatch.com, where we have all the fantasy information you will ever need to dominate your leagues from the draft throughout the playoffs. Until next time, be ready.